the bougie antagonists like to throw arguments out there like how I'm gonna miss like the convenience of all these foods and all the different varieties of foods that this commercial structure offers and yada yada yada. And like all I can really say quite frankly is I can't really afford any of the like really like special foods, you know, and you know, it's like I'm already predominantly whole food plant-based anyway. So it seems kind of ridiculous that I have to like buy apples from you when no matter what my job is in this commercial structure, I could still always have an apple tree. So, you know, I don't know when like I deferred my right to even like my own food production like before my birth apparently, like, you know, in this war construct that we're in. But anyways, the other way to look at it is it's not like I don't enjoy the errant, you know, Twinkie. It's just that I know that I can live without it, and I know that I could also make some kind of a sweet, you know, at some point, you know, once I have, you know, a workable farm creating potentially sugar cane or beet sugar and fruits and, you know, potentially flowers. You know, it's probably not all, you know, we invented these foods, okay? So it's, you know, it's not like they're just mysteriously imported from Mars. I just kind of want to remind you guys that like the human mind really did still invent all the foods that like exist with all the, you know, naturally occurring ingredients that do exist, you know? And I don't really need to turn any of the sugars into like high fructose corn syrup. I really don't really need to, okay? And you know, there's just lots of other ways to get your sweets. It doesn't have to be like mass-produced Twinkies, okay? And then the other way to look at it is, you know, Twinkies, you know, aren't really worth existing in this slave contract, just doing whatever so that you guys can eat even the fancier foods while doing really either nothing or like warmongering. And it's just not really worth it. It's just not really worth it when you really consider that you need all of us to be slaves in order to have even one slave do anything for you. Because you're never going to have just a slave agree to do your nails and another slave agree to do your makeup. You're just never going to get that unless the rest of us are also mind-washed into being your slaves. And at this point, for 44 to 59% of us that are in absolute financial fuckery, okay? And we're absolutely interdicted from even our life-saving necessaries, okay? You know, you guys just forgot to kind of make this slave construct worth it for us, okay? Because we really have to sit here at some point and deduce, you know, is, you know, keeping this person, you know, in my accounting careers, you know, keeping this person's ledger really worth, you know, the war that I'm supporting? Not really.